right, and this is for focus generic. What was your initial reaction when Edgar Wright approached you about making a documentary focused on your lives and career? Was there a specific aspect of Edgar's pitch that made you want to get on board or most attracted you to the project?
Well, when Edgar Wright approached us to do a documentary about Sparks, we were literally floored. We're huge fans of Edgar's work, his films, and we'd been so hesitant to do a documentary in the past because we felt that we hadn't been approached by the right person that was really on the same wavelength as Sparks is and who could really tell the story in the same sort of way, in a visual way that Sparks is musically. And we had always been fearful in the past, but when Edgar proposed this idea, we were over the moon because we thought, how could it go wrong? And Edgar Wright film about Sparks, it seemed like it would be perfect.
And the one final thing that really convinced us for sure was the fact that Edgar was going to treat all of our periods in an equal way, that he wasn't going to kind of focus on some mythical golden age from the past, but his feeling was that what we're doing now is as essential as what we've ever done before. And when he mentioned that, we said yes very enthusiastically.
Where do we sign?
The next question is, were there any specific aspects of your career that you knew you wanted to highlight in the documentary that you felt were important?
What we were happy with Edgar's approach to the documentary was that he, in fact, included every era of Sparks' career. And that was one main concern before setting out to do this, was that it would maybe be focusing on one era or another era that some people might say, oh, that's the golden period, or that's the golden period. But in fact, part of Edgar's thesis was that there are many, many, many golden eras of Sparks throughout our career, and that some of the periods even that were lesser known are maybe equally interesting in their own ways. And so we're really happy that Edgar chose to treat all of the eras of Sparks equally.
And the next one. The documentary has several funny moments. What tone and style did you hope the film would have overall?
Well, the one thing that really pleased us immensely when we finally saw the final cut of the film was that it was an Edgar Wright film. That our concern was that stylistically the film might be toned down from Edgar's usual exuberant way of making films, and to our mind this really seems like it has the stamp of Edgar on it, even though it is his first documentary. So that was, a very pleasant surprise. I mean, we probably shouldn't have been surprised, but we definitely didn't want it to be just a dull gray documentary with people yapping, but to have a real Edgar Wright cinematic flair to it, and it did that in spades.
Was there anyone featured in the film who you were surprised to find out was a Sparks fan?
When Edgar finally showed us the final cut of the film, we were so excited by all of the various creative types that he got to speak on behalf of Sparks, to speaking out very eloquently their liking of the band. And we were really surprised because we haven't had contact with the majority of the people in the film, and from actors like Mike Myers and his Patton Oswalt, to writers like Neil Gaiman, to TV producers like Amy Sherman Palladino and Dan Palladino, and then the wide breadth of musicians that Edgar included in the documentary from various genres of of music, from going from Duran Duran to the Sex Pistols and kind of everything in between. Jack Antonoff, who produces Taylor Swift, it was sort of all over the map. And we were just so happily surprised that all of these wonderful creative types wanted to speak out about Sparks. It was really heartwarming for us to see them.